I did a ton of fighting on the restart in KvK1. And 4028, that's where we're doing our restart. I racked up a bunch of kills with 5 marches. I had crazy gear, especially for my infantry. But this is the video that's going to tell everybody. I'm going to make it real simple for everybody. Free-to-plays, low spenders, whales, everybody. There's one march you got to go do. One march you got to have. And we're going to talk about it because nothing else matters. And I'll tell you exactly what that is if you're playing the early game and how it will transcend to KvK2 and in the future right now. Hey, yo, it's your boy War Daddy Chadsky. I put out videos for Rise of Kingdoms all the time, guys. And if you enjoy these videos, throw a thumbs up on it. Give it a like. Helps out the video, helps out the channel. If you're not subscribed, consider doing so. Hit that subscribe button. You can hit that bell if you want to get alerts for any content that I put out. None of this costs you anything. And as you can see, I'm taking 5 marches and I'm just running it down right now. This was from a live stream from my Kingsland opening in KvK1, right? Now, I've got crazy gear, guys, and I spent a bunch and did all that fun stuff for KvK1. But I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter what I spent. The overwhelming, revelation that I had was that there is one march in particular in KvK1. There is one march in particular that beats all of them. And it's not even close. And I'll show you all the results here in a few. But just so everybody understands, here's what I'm running for my marches in KvK1. Now, we've got Kingsland locked up, but here's what I was running. I was running a Sun Tzu with Mehmed, okay? Great march, all right? I've got my second best gear for infantry on this march. And I know my gear is kind of crazy, but that also comes into play with the advice I'm about to give you. Mehmed at 5511 is great. It is absolutely great. They both do skill damage enhancers. It's great to put. That is a skill damage march. That's what that march is built for. The second thing that I did was Martel with Pyrrhus. Great KvK1 march. Okay, you got a little bit of damage coming from Pyrrhus, but he also does a lot of normal damage. Fits well with the counterattack damage that our boy Martel does. I don't even have Martel maxed. 5535. All right. And then I also had Richard and Ethel. This was my debuffing march. This is what I ran. I don't even have Richard max 5551. I don't even have Ethel maxed. I think I've got her 5545 or 5534 or something. And that's what I ran. And I had my scuff gear on this march. And so with that being said, that worked out pretty good. And then I have my cavalry march, right? Mina, and I would actually run Mina with Babbars. That's Babbars is really, really good. It's easy to get max. The only other epic, Sun Tzu and Babbars were the only epics that I ran here. Okay, and of course my Mina's max because I spent, and my cav gear looks pretty good. Okay, but the overwhelming, and it's not even close, guys. It is not even close. The best march that I ran was Thutmose YSG. Hands down. My Thutmose is 5543. It's not even maxed. I think I put a little bit of gold heads into him to get one of these skills up. And for the most part of KvK, my YSG wasn't even maxed until Kingsland. And I'm just telling you guys, and I ran this no legendary equipment. Now, I've gotten lucky with some of the epics that I've done. But this march, let me show you what this thing did. Now, by comparison, okay, here is my gear on my freaking Martel. That's my gear on my Martel. That thing should trade insane, and it did. But by comparison, guys, Thutmose YSG, holy jeez, look at these ratios it was doing. I even ran a couple with Thutmose and Ethel. Ethel doing crazy stuff as well. But Thutmose YSG, that's nuts. It was outperforming every march I have. Look at even my Martel and Pyrrhus. Just crazy what this march did. And it doesn't have near, not even close, doesn't have near the gear that my Martel has. And it's KvK1, you got no armaments. But this guy, I'm just telling you. So here's what I'm trying to tell everybody and what you should do for early game. And honestly, it'll last through KvK2 because we're getting ready to go into KvK2. The other archer commanders you're going to get are Edward and Tommy. And they're still not as good as a Thutmose YSG in the field. It will literally be one of the best KvK2 marches. It is hands down the best KvK1 march. This march right here, it's not even close. It is so good. And so what I want everybody to do, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that you can't run a good march. You can, guys, listen, even if you're free to play, you can save your heads. You can try to get Thutmose on all the different events that come out and all the different things. Just focus him. Try to get him in gold keys. Try to get him 5-5, 1-1 at least. Save your gems. Spin the wheel on YSG. And it doesn't even have to be max. Neither one of these guys. And the gear doesn't even have to be like crazy. Like, I've got epic gear, but again, this is comparing it to all my other marches that have crazy legendary gear. And it just wrecks everything. And if you come in here and we look at some of the different gear that we have, like for archers, okay, you can do a couple of different things. Of course, you've got the purple gear with the revival helmet. That should be like the goal, right, for most players. But you can do a couple of other things. You've got archer defense over here in the Helm of the Phoenix. Pretty cheap and easy to get. Over here, you have the Commander's heavy armor, which is good for health. You get the blue chest piece, which is really good. And then you work your way to the revival. All right, that does more attack, but honestly, the 6% health that you can easily go, look, I got 23 prints of this stuff. You can easily go get that critted. Okay, you got Saint Song for the blue gloves that you can get. Of course, you've got the revival stuff going on with the epic side. All right, but Saint Song isn't that much worse. I mean, it's about the same as the revival when it comes to the actual stats. And so, in addition to that, with the pants, you've got the Greaves of the Exile. You got defense over here. Now, the revival pants is great for defense, 7.5%, but compared to the 6%, you can get that critted easily. Like, what I'm trying to say is that this game at the beginning makes it so easy. The only problem is we don't have boots. We don't have boots. They're really hard. So this is the one you really got to go get. Flaming Treads. The Flame Treads are really, really important. It gives you health. There really are no other boots that give you anything when it comes to archers. You've got these guys, the Boots of the Reverence, and then you have the Edge boots with a little bit of attack. So you're going to want to get the Flame Treads. That's like the one epic you need to go get. But with how powerful this march is in KvK1, and honestly in KvK2, like, guys, nothing else matters. If you want to run one march and when you want to go fight and have fun in a KvK and KvK1, because I tell people all the time, don't save your gold heads sometimes, because if you save your gold heads, you never really learn how to fight. You never really learn how to do the stuff that we love to do in these videos. Let me show you here. When we're off here fighting, where's this at? I'm at the pass. I'm down here fighting. You never do this. If you never do it, you're going to be an awful player. You're going to get into KvK2. You're not even going to know how to fight. Okay, so I always encourage players, don't be afraid to invest a little bit, especially if it's in commanders that you're going to swap. Because once you get into SOC, once you get into KvK3 or out of KvK3, you can swap commanders and get gold heads back or swap them to the meta commanders in the end game. So you can put gold heads into Thutmose knowing you're going to swap them. You can put gold heads into YSG knowing you're either going to keep him because he's amazing with Chin in the end game, or you can swap him out. But this march right here, everybody should run this march. Like, nothing else matters. Nothing. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a Martel. Doesn't matter if you spend a little bit and have a Mina. Doesn't even matter if you're running Sun Tzu. This is the march you want. 100%. You can run it with T4. You can play this game, get active, go to KvK1, have a march of T4, Thutmose, YSG, have some decent gear on it, okay? Put some blue gear on it, maybe a couple of epics, purple gear, and you're good to go. You will do damage. I'm just telling you. That's how powerful this thing is. And you have peace of mind knowing you can run it in KvK2, then you can add another march or two if you wanted to. But this is it, man. Like, nothing else matters. And guys, do not give me the whole, oh, Chadsky, you just know because you're a whale. No, I'm not going to listen to that. You know why? Because compared to my other marches, this gear is just epic critted, okay? My other marches, I've got like legendary critted stuff, I've got I got my VIP weapon with my critted Cav stuff. Okay. I've got this is like the worst gear I have that's still pretty decent. And then I've got this stuff going for my second infantry march. So I have better gear on like all of my marches. Just about all of them, except for the retreat. But this thing right here, oh my gosh, it slaps. It slaps. It's unbelievable. And that doesn't matter what level of spend you are. If you want to focus one march where you're going to be able to use it in the field, get a bunch of kills, have fun with it, it's Thutmose YSG. Invest in those commanders, invest in that. Like Thutmose comes in the gold keys, right? And there's other little events that you can get heads for them. Okay? We've got the commander recharge. You can get heads for Thutmose over here. You got other little events all over the place that you can use. But on your rewards list for the gold keys, there he is. There's our boy. And I've got a ton of his heads from the gold keys. And then when the YSG wheel comes around, you just go spin the YSG wheel. Try to save all your gems for the YSG wheel. That's what you want to do. But that march, I'm telling you, I don't care what level of player you are in KvK1, there's no crystal tech. As long as you have any kind of decent gear, you're good to go. Go run it. Thutmose YSG, they don't even have to be maxed. Like, that's it, man. And how this translate into the end game, just like I told you, if you invest in Thutmose, you use them for K1 and KvK2. By KvK2, you've got enough gold heads, and maybe you've got enough gold keys where you've gotten heads for Thutmose, and maybe you've invested enough gold heads to where you get him maxed, then you just swap him in the commander swap. And then with YSG, you can just leave him where he's at, and then go use another commander to swap, because a commander like CC, guys, just about everybody has CC maxed. I got a max in the first 2 weeks. And it's because when you first open up gold keys, okay, in the tavern, when you start the game and you first open up gold keys, CC is the only commander you can even get heads for. So you get a ton of them. Oh my gosh, you get a ton of them. So you can swap CC because everybody's going to have it maxed. So there's all kinds of different ways to do that. But this is what I came away with KvK1, is that anybody can run this march. It's so overpowered. Anybody can run this march. Scuffed gear. Commander's not even expertise. T4s, and you just go run it. You go run it and have fun. If you're going to be a low spender, mid spender, or if you're just doing a restart to have some fun, that's all you need to focus on. You'll use it for KvK1, you'll use it for KvK2, and you'll get reports like this. Like, it's insanity, some of the reports I got. Where's it at? Like this, it was just constant. All KvK. Oh, that was a rally. All KvK. Guys, this is with epic gear. And I know it's epic gear and I'm running T5. But it was constant. Look at this. Just constant. Just crazy what this march does. And I saw it on other players in my kingdom, T4 players. They were like, oh my gosh, my Thutmose YSG is just cooking everything. And that's what you want to run. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, please throw a thumbs up on it. Give it a like. Hopefully I gave you guys some good early game content with it. Also helped you guys transition your accounts into SOC, knowing what to do with that. If you're not subscribed, consider doing so. Get down in my comments and let me know what you think. But that is my directive for everybody, guys. Thutmose YSG. No matter what level of player you are, that's the only march that matters in KvK1. So with all that being said, y'all have a great day, broskies.